Now, today I am going to show you how to focus on the front of the body so that you can make space and find two-way stretches at each segment. And then the back, the spine can correct itself. And I also showed that we make space at each segment, and then we also kind of slide the sliding doors, and that's how we gather ourselves without making each segment puny. We keep the size of the space, and then we stack the space. And this picture of Joe Pilates, oh, that's Teresa Shoup. She woke up nice and early to help me with my little things here. So this diagram illustration is in so many studios around the world. So I'll use this, it's great. This is your six pack and your abdomen, and these are the little places where we'll make two-way stretches. So the lowest one, oh, it's actually, our poster is kind of worn out here because I'm kind of obsessed with the lower powerhouse. So what you're going to do is pull in your lower house really low into your sacrum, just the right amount. It's not a blasting in, but just the lowest part of your powerhouse pulling in should just feel kind of like a little warm hug. And then we're going to make two-way stretch here. We let the bottom part go down. We lift the next part up. Then we let this part go a little bit down. We pick this part up. Then we let this part be down. It's not going down, it's being down, and then lift the next part up. So we're going to take time to put our mind into our body to lift our spirit. And then these muscles, all these shoulder muscles, even these guys are going to lift up with the, and this is just showing the superficial abs. So there are more underneath there. And then they go even higher. They go up onto the rib cage. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do some pretty intense back bends. And so you, of course, will do, if you come to an exercise that doesn't agree with you, then you're going to make it your own. And let's see. That's what I have. So I'm going to start to transform into Cindy Lou Who, where our heart is getting bigger. We're going to start with a pole, and thanks, Teresa. To warm up, you can grip the pole at a, say, a medium grip. It's not a death grip, and you're going to turn up and down, inhaling and exhaling, holding the pole kind of narrow, maybe even quite narrow. So this is like our 100 today, and exhale. You might be able to get a big hand and a small hand. And while you're doing this, going to your lower powerhouse and giving it just enough anchoring. Maybe you can reverse, trying to keep the pole just so. And that is our warm up with the pole. Now you can hold the pole wider and reach. So this will be at the level of the pole is going to be the place where you're doing your two-way stretch. So we'll take our time with this. So we're going to start letting the legs, let the pelvis go up and the legs go down. Then the lower powerhouse goes down, and then just below the belly button lifts. Then below the belly button lowers, and above the belly button lifts, and on up. Each part getting its two-way stretch, lifting so that we're not weighing on. And at the top, you can even lift the shoulder muscles and let the upper powerhouse be. You might even find you can get your hands behind. And if you can, check in that the back of your heart has a little bit of space. So we'll just go a little bit down there, and this is going to lead us into the spine stretch forward in a moment, but we're going to do this one more time. So take your time, see if you can feel the legs go and the stomach begin to lift. Then the lower stomach down, the middle lifting. the middle goes down, the upper lifts each level. Now this is going to be really important to the integrity of your super big back bends. So it's worth feeling cell A and cell B way up. Maybe you need to have just a little softening so that you don't pinch where your wings touch. Maybe you can even shave back there. We'll see. Now we'll go into spine stretch forward. So you have all your one sections lifting off the other, the arms maybe behind the head, the upper abs a little relaxed to open the back, the upper back. And then you'll go, now we're going to start to sliding door. All the sections you open are going to slide one behind the other. So they're still big and strong and spacious, but they just slid. And now when you lift, they unfold. And we'll do that again. So all sections lift, rounding, starting to slide your sections. So your spine will just work. I mean, function. Work. I say work, but I mean function, not like work. And now we'll go side to side. So the upside is opening the deck of cards, and the bottom side is bringing the deck of cards together and lifting up. And lifting on one side and stacking the deck of cards on the other side. Really warming up the powerhouse. Romana, my teacher, called it the upper powerhouse, the middle powerhouse, and the lower powerhouse. And one more time, we'll go lifting each section, and then the upside gets space and the downside gets stacking together. And lift up. So that's what I have with the pole. And we can use the pole also for the first two exercises, the roll back. We're going to roll back and we're going to make contact to find your two-way stretch at each segment. And for the breathing with the bar. So you can have a seat on your spine corrector and find your feet at any reasonable level, put the bar on you. And as you go back, you're going to see, oh, two-way stretch, two-way stretch, two-way stretch, You might even be able to get all the way up here, hugging the barrel, and all your two-way stretches are opening. And then when you come up, we're going to start to stack the deck. So you go, stack one behind the other, one behind the other, one behind the other, like that. And then we'll go again. Roll. I'm going to put my pole away for now. And I'm going to have them gathered and not making space, reaching, even lifting my shoulders, and then coming up. Keep the space and start to gather. So the roll back. One more time, we'll just kind of put it together. Reach, and then just kind of put it together. And so that's the roll back. Next exercise, stretch with the bar. Now this one I'm going to show a different entry, and that is the sitting on the floor. So you can have a seat on the floor, hold your bar, and as you go back, you know, most of us go back and we keep the decks stacked, especially down below, and then we try to we expect our upper back to do all of this stuff, and then we need 25 pillows, or we just get mad at ourselves and say, well, I'm just not very flexible. So I'm going to suggest we can actually put our mind in our body, and our front side can have agency and lengthen. So we go back, I feel the bar at the spine corrector, and now I'm lifting up and over, lifting up and over, lifting up until I'm all the way back. And here I am hugging the bar, hugging the spine corrector. And then I'll inhale here and exhale back, reaching, lifting. Inhale here and exhale down. It's really important, at least in my body type, to keep that lower part anchored. And if you have sensation in your back, I don't mind. You probably will have sensation in your back, but you also want to have sensation and real work in this front sheet. Exhale back. Inhale here and exhale here. And then to exit, put your hands behind your head, stack the cards, and come forward. So that's the stretch with the bar. Next, we'll do swimming. And I'm finished with the bar for now, so I'm going to roll it to my trusty assistant. Now, in this entry, I'm going to have you draw the outlines on that picture. The two outer lines are going to draw into the center linea alba like that. And that's going to help turn on your inner thighs and your midline. Now, Teresa can show with me. So Romana taught this entry for the wall, and I am doing it here. So we're going to get on, we're going to attach our head and upper body. We're going to draw this line in, which will just be an invitation to our inner thighs. And then we're going to roll down, and we're going to reach. So the upper body and the head get to be the most important thing in the world. And then the pelvis gets to be heavy and relaxed and stretching until it's either on the wall or on the floor. And then we'll do that again. So I can go all the way down, but sometimes I just throw a little box under there for people. So I'll go rolling down, stretching up and over, stretching my segments up and down, as well as drawing my center line together. And then I'll show one more teacher assist, and Teresa will come and hold on my knuckles, and she'll make shoulder blocks. So this is like the semicircle. So she gives me something to push away from. And that might be a nice way to help yourself in, or your client into that exercise, so that it makes sense. After you're there, we'll do some swimming. Reaching the arms, equal and opposite. Finding the breath again. And enjoying the back bend. To exit this exercise, I like to pick myself back up. In a way, I can stack my cards, I can pull myself together, and then getting up, just picking the head up and having a simple counter stretch like that. Next exercise, the side kicks. Now I put this here because I think we source in Pilates, we train, we're always sourcing. When the shit hits the fan, we go in. So I just gave all of this front work and really back work, so that we have two sides of our trunk. And I love doing this here because, and I love giving it to my clients here, because you can really feel if you're on your hip or if you wiggle around. And then once you're here, you have your center line, and then the stacking in the front and stretching to go back. Stacking in the front, stretching. So there's a lot of directional two-way stretches going on in your abdominal. And now we'll make a bicycle. So we stack in the front, and then we stretch in the back, stack in the front, stretch. If I'm feeling crazy, I'll put my hand behind my head and reverse. Back, bend, and then stack. Back, bend. And when my voice gets low, I know my body needs to, I need to anchor back to my center. Yay. And now the other side, I'm suddenly feeling my legs are so long, I might need a little extra room there. So I can find if I'm stacked. And sometimes I'll also face the bump, but whichever way I do on one side, we're doing the other side. And then there's a stretch. The stretch is in the trunk. I'm not forcing the hip. Gathering in the trunk, the abdomen, stretching in the trunk and seeing where that takes my leg. Stacking, especially the top side, reaching, sliding the doors, stacking the deck, and then spreading the deck out. Two-way stretches all around, and then bicycle, up, stack, stretch. It's almost like the thing happens a microsecond before that thing happens. But just a micro, and reverse, stretch. So it makes sense that perhaps eventually the back, there'll be a little lift here and a little round here, but it really has to come from the inside and from the center, and not like just an working from the outside kind of a thing. Okay, and then next is the leg series. And we're turning this so I don't give you too much of a butt shot. And we'll roll down and put our upper back, the back of our heart, our nice big red beating heart. And we're preparing. Let's see if I can pick myself back up. Okay, so leg circles. Stretching, gathering, reaching the trunk, gathering, reaching, and reverse. So I am going to try to let my heart be heavy there. Now some scissors, one leg and the other leg. One leg and the other leg. Okay, and now some rolling in and out. So bending in, giving a little bit of stacking, a little bit of weight onto the upper back and to the back of the heart. And I'm gonna kind of open my segments a little bit actively, and then I'm getting ready to close them. So the rolling in and out, we can get kind of passive and falling a little bit, but this can be really quite the active exercise. I think I have enough time to reach. Ooh. So I have my midline and up to my linea alba. Whoa, get a little bit of a cramp. And then the other side. And then bending in, pushing away. And feeling the breath. Maybe the exhale, the diaphragm can come up like a pillow under my big red beating heart. So that's what I have. Hopefully you feel graceful after that, and you've turned in from a Grinch to a grace. I hope you enjoyed it. I think we have a couple more minutes so people can ask questions, or I'll just kind of show some exercises. What are the questions? Oh, that's so great. I was so worried that I was going to not have enough time. Oh, the bicycle is nice. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just do a little more exercise on the barrel. And what is that I'm going to do? Oh, the rocking. Oh my gosh. So this will be a little intense, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to be like Cindy Lou Who, and I'm going to slide down the toboggan until the front of my chest is on the mat, my chin and my chest. And then I'm going to bend my knees and spend a little time here. When I rock, this is where I want to be, lifting my segments this way. Not only my feet, not only my hips, but my abdomen is reaching around like that. Woo! And then I'll do one more of those. Reaching, stretching, and then yes, the legs lifting, the thighs lifting, and the abdomen all the way from my chin, reaching around and press up. So that's nice and intense. And like any good Pilates instructor, I'll end with some scooping. So I'm going to take a little moment here, going to get my stacking back together, and I'm going to work on my teasers. I'm going to roll back. I'm going to make sure I have my lowest part of my body here, and lift up and roll down back into the powerhouse. And teaser 2, down and up. Find my stretching, down and up, down and up, and reach and lift and reach. My backstroke, and lift and reach and lift. And then because you like the bicycle, I'll give you some more bicycles and reverse my bicycles. Oh my gosh. Oh, good. I have some people doing it with me. And some side sit-ups. Why not? So I'm going to take this a little bit out. Side sit-ups to me are a little bit like the side kicks, where I get the one side really lifting and the other side a bit stacking. You can have the leg turned out if you like, or turned in if you like. And other side. So stacking and lifting. And if I get all the way down to the bottom of my powerhouse, it really anchors me. If I don't get to the bottom, then I kind of fall over and then I can't get back up. So right away, I'm thinking down to the bottom of my powerhouse and then up from the bottom of my powerhouse. And so there we have it. And oh, the towel exercise. Getting back grounded. After presenting, I always feel like, kind of amped up. So back to the boots on the ground. My next client doesn't need to know that I've been Cindy Lou Who for you all. What's the scoop, Teresa? La 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 la.
Hey.
Cindy Lou Who. Oh,
Cindy Lou Who.
hi, Maureen.
Hi, it's Maureen and Jenny. We're here to say that Dolly Kimbrough is the winner of these fabulous wire handles. So Dolly, please send us a message in the DMs of Instagram so we can get your address and get those to you. Thanks so much, ladies. Thanks. Teresa, thank you.
Thank you. I'm signing off, everybody.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Ciao, ciao. Hi, Lisa.
That was awesome.
Thank you.